Okay. It's a question that I keep getting asked all the time. And when you think of a mirror, you think of the mirror in your bathroom, right? It gets steamed up. It's like, there's toothpaste on the mirror in the bathroom. You're going to clean it off, right? Because a conventional mirror, in most cases, that you're used to, you think, well, it's a mirror. Oh, the silvering is on the back. You're just cleaning off the glass on the mirror. Yeah, no dice when it comes to camera mirrors. This is from a Nikon D500, by the way. These are so sensitive that I can assure you, and I've demonstrated it before, that a Q-tip will scratch it. Now you're thinking, if you don't know how a camera works, you're thinking, well, it doesn't affect the image, and you're right, but you know what it does affect? Obviously, it sends mirror up through the viewing screen, through the pentaprism to your eye. But this mirror is semi-transparent. If you look at the back, there's another mirror hanging behind it. Yeah. If you actually look at your reflex mirror really closely, you can see another mirror behind it. As I flip this up, you can actually see the second mirror following it as it moves out of the way and the shutter's open to expose the sensor for the shot that's taken. Here's the issue. Unless you take the camera apart, by the way, there's no way. This is why you should keep your camera clean, too. There's no way to clean the secondary mirror behind the primary. Is that your autofocusing only works by light that passes through the primary mirror, hits the secondary, and goes down to the autofocus sensor assembly. So that means if you got a ton of dust bunnies on your primary mirror, it actually does affect. It can affect, especially if you're shooting flare, like say you're shooting, incidentally into the sun. You get some flare over someone's shoulder. It does affect it. Because this is also the issue with haze. The same issue with haze on a lens is the same issue with dust on the sensor. How does that work? Haze, by the way, is particularized oil that's inside a lens. Never buy a lens that has haze. It's got a fungus spot or two, no big deal. Never buy a lens with haze. You could shoot in normal lighting with a lens with mild to moderate haze, and you really won't notice anything. But if you shoot incidentally towards the sun, it's off in the corner, maybe it's kind of peeking in around the corner. Oh my God, it'll throw this milky cast because there'll be a scattering effect. Kind of like sunlight through a rainstorm. You end up with a rainbow. That's a beautiful scattering effect. Haze through a lens is a bad scattering effect. You're like, oh my God, all of a sudden my images turn milky. Well, that's haze inside your lens. What happens is there's too much dust on your primary mirror, and I'm going to tell you in a second how to clean your mirror, is that it causes a scattering effect, and it can affect your autofocus. People report this I tried to shoot towards the sun, and I just couldn't nail the autofocus. They were assuming it was the sun. It was off in the corner. I was like, do you happen to have a really dusty mirror? Like, hey, yeah, I do. How did you know that? Because when you shoot incidentally in towards a strong light source, it causes a scattering effect because that light has to pass through this mirror, bounce off the secondary, and into the autofocus assembly to tell the main board where to focus, and then sends a signal to the lens to focus. Yeah, dust causes scattering. So how to get the dust off your sensor? You can blow it off, and if that doesn't work, and oftentimes it doesn't hit the main part of the dust, never use a Q-tip. No. Use a once used, because once a sensor paddle is used, like a photosol sensor paddle, I always save those because they're always good for one last shot, not at the sensor, but at other things. Put one drop only of the photosol solution onto that swab. Reach to the top of the mirror. Don't apply any pressure. Pull it down. Just like you're petting a fragile little baby kitten, right? Even softer than that. Don't apply any pressure. The mirror on this, the coating is at the top. It's like, well, it's just like a regular mirror in my bathroom. No, it's not. In your bathroom, you're cleaning the glass. By the way, this is German mineral water, in case anybody's interested. Deutschland, jawohl! You're only cleaning the glass, not the mirroring underneath it. In this case, the glass is underneath it and the mirroring is on top. It's so easy to scratch these. This is not a regular mirror, it's a semi-transparent mirror. Not only that, the surface is almost like, have you ever seen gold leaf? It is so thin, it ripples and waves, and it is almost like quasi-liquid amorphous. And that is how bad the mirroring is on a reflex mirror. So, 1 drop only of the photosol solution. Flick it around for like 3 seconds so that there's no moisture. It's just slightly damp, basically. Put it in there at the top, pull it down, not drag, meaning like don't apply any pressure. That will remove the dust off your reflex mirror. Okay? I warn you ahead of time, if you're not careful doing this, it's so easy to damage your mirror. I really tell everybody not to touch it. Blow the dust off of your mirror. Never stick a Q-tip in there, but this is a way to professionally clean your mirror on your DSLR. I said the mirroring is on top, not on the bottom, or on the back, actually. Like in a regular mirror, like, you know, the mirror hanging on your mirror hanging on the wall, that mirror. This is not a regular mirror. Not. And it's incredibly fragile. But that mirror being clean is important to autofocus. Now your mirror does have to get pretty. I've seen some really nasty mirrors. You're like, yeah, my camera doesn't seem to autofocus as good as it used to. It's like, yeah, there's a reason for that. It looks like somebody like blew their nose on your mirror. Just like, it's just all sorts of crap sticking to it. So, this is a video a lot of people have been begging me to make. And this is how to professionally clean your reflex mirror on your DSLR. But if you're not careful, you will jack up the mirror. Because it is more fragile than frog fur. Right? More fragile than a premature baby in an ICU box. You know, those little premature babies in like a sterile box. It's like, you know, it's dangerous to even touch them. Yeah, that's how sensitive the mirrors are. This mirror is from a dead Nikon D500. It's not that fragile. Not anymore, it's not. But if you like these videos, you should always drop a buck or two. Because I absolutely murder myself answering emails and comments all the time. And it takes a hunk out of my soul. It does. It's becoming accumulative. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Bye.